We're out here, I hope you guys can hear me, but reports have surfaced of a man named Noah who claims that God is about to destroy the earth with a catastrophic flood. Behind me stands a massive structure which Noah calls an ark. It is designed to preserve the life of the animals as God floods the world. Just one problem. It hasn't rained. Some say this is the greatest act of faith in human history. Others say it's the greatest illusion. Today, we're speaking with Noah, his family, and others to get a glimpse at what's really going on. So Noah, what exactly did God ask you to do, and why? Why now?
God saw that the wickedness of man had become great on earth, that every intention was bent towards evil. Violence filled the land. This isn't random judgment. This is a response to corruption that has filled the land.
Noah, so this flood is a judgment, right?
Yes, but not only judgment. This ark is mercy in the middle of judgment.
Alright, so why you?
I found favor in the eyes of the Lord, but that favor wasn't given, it was earned. And my job is to obey.
Alright, and how long did it take to build the ark?
It took years, but obedience isn't about convenience, it's about faithfulness.
Mrs. Noah, do you think this is fair? God destroying the entire world.
Well, people hear judgment and they think it's harsh. They forget how far we've fallen. God is not only loving, he is just. If he ignored evil, he wouldn't be good.
Okay, Mrs. Noah, what does the ark mean to you?
It's more than survival. It's the way that God makes a path for the people who trust him.
Okay, Shem, did you doubt your father?
Yes, it didn't make sense at first, but he never wavered. I realized this wasn't just about a flood, it was about obedience. God speaks, and man either listens or doesn't.
Alright, what does the ark represent to you?
It's the only place of safety. Without it, there's no protection from what's coming.
Alright, Ham, what about the people who refuse to come?
They've heard the warning for years. But people don't reject God because they lack information. They reject him because they don't want to change.
You rolling? Mm-hmm. Alright, so I've been told you're the leading skeptic in this community. Are you getting on the ark?
Do you see rain? I don't. Jim Cantore forecasts no rain for today. I think this is all a bunch of foolishness.
Okay. Well, what would it take to convince you?
Something real. Lots of rain. Message from God. Something that makes me fear for my life, perhaps.
What are you gonna do when it starts raining? When the flood waters start rising, as Noah says? Do you have a boat?
We'll tackle that when we get there.
Very interesting hearing different perspectives on the matter, but some people, they don't believe that the ark is gonna save the world. But others, like Noah, they do. So we'll see what happens.
Noah.
All right, what's it like being the head of the animals in the ark?
Ooh, it's crazy. I'm running around all day, chasing down giraffes, fighting lions. I mean, I'm even trying to catch mosquitoes. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but it's for a good purpose, and I'm trying really hard to get this done.
What's been the most challenging task so far? Which animals have been the hardest to catch?
Ooh, that's a good question. The bears have been the hardest, for sure. They're so big and strong, they push you around. You know, we got 2 bears in the ark, and one of them killed a lamb, another one killed a goat. Now I gotta go get another lamb, I gotta go get another goat, and I'm mad at the bear, and I gotta live with this bear now. You gotta feed the bear. You gotta bring enough animals on there to feed the bears, feed the lions. I mean, when you talk about this concept, everybody's thinking about the sheep, 2 sheep, 2 goats, 2 cows. Nobody's talking about all the animals I gotta bring on to feed the other animals. I want my rights.
Where are you right now? How come you couldn't be at the ark today?
Well, I didn't know they were doing interviews. Nobody told me that. Must have fallen from chain of command. I'm out in the jungle right now, hunting down a leopard. I found his tracks and I'm trying to follow him, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get two. And if you get one, you know, there's no point in bringing him on the boat. So I'm still looking around. I'm doing my best. But it's hard. It's hot out here. You know, that rain better be real, 'cause I need to cool down.
And man, everybody's asking you, how are you going to keep these things alive during the flood?
That'll be a true miracle if I do. God's got to keep me alive in the process. I am wrestling and working with some of the nastiest creatures that you've ever even heard of. I'm talking about things of legends. Not only that, but I'm a one-man crew. It's a lot of pressure on me. So I don't know. Like I said, we're going to bring all these animals on to feed the other animals. We're stockpiling hay and grain. It's a big ark, but space is limited. And so we have to plan. And we don't really know how long we're going to be out there. So I'm just getting as much as I can and packing it into the back of the ark and to the bottom of the ark. But, you know, you're going to have to make some tough calls. If we're out there for, 5 years, we might have to use Shem.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Sorry you couldn't be with us, but we're just so grateful that you sent this footage in.
Yeah. Thank you for the interview. Did you hear that?
So we've heard many different perspectives today. The family backs you, but there are skeptics in the community who say what you're saying is completely untrue. So what do you have to say to people like that who are still undecided?
God's patience is not permission, it is opportunity. The door is open, but it will not remain so forever.
Well, you've heard it from the man himself. I guess let's just wait. See behind me, we got the family getting on the ark, and it does look like we're expecting rain. But how much? That's the question. What stands before us is more than a story. It's a warning. A world full of corruption, a God who judges, and a God who provides a way of escape. There's still no rain, but if Noah is right, it may not matter much longer.
This is not the ark you are looking for. This is not the ark you are looking for.